a Spanish boy came up to my mom with my glasses
Oh,
and was
wow.
like, do you know who these are? And she's
Wow.
like, those are my son's glasses. And dude,
That's crazy.
I remember getting my glasses back,
Yeah.
and that was the first time in my life where I encountered the love of God for me. I was like, man, he actually loves me, and it's not just like, okay, I don't want to go to hell. It was like, no, like there's a real God that actually like cares about the little things, you know, and sees the little things and hears my prayers.
Welcome back, episode 3 of the Purified Podcast with your hosts, Jordan and Ben.
Yeah.
Today is testimony time. Before we get going, a little snippet of what you guys can expect from today's episode. We're going to be talking a lot about fear versus faith, what it means to walk out our journey of faith as Christians without fear holding us back, and what that looks like to combat fear in a real life example. Jordan's going to be sharing his testimony today, so you'll hopefully get to see an example of what his faith journey has been like over the years. And I'm hoping, and we're hoping, that all of you can relate in some way or another. And the big thing that we'd like to convey today is the journey from fear to faith. It is not something we do by ourselves. It is a gift of Christ, and that gift comes through grace. And as Christians, our mindset is based on Christ's grace, which means his unconditional love poured out for us, undeserving, unearned, but it is how we're saved, is why we're saved, is not anything that we have done nor could do to inherit eternal life. It is only by the gift of God, which is his faith, or which is his grace through faith. So without further ado, Jordan, you can take it away. And hopefully you all gain something from his story.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so I grew up in a Christian home, so I have a pretty lengthy testimony, I guess you could say. My parents are both believers in Jesus, and from a young age, we went to church every Sunday, and that was basically the environment that I was raised in. Just grew up learning Bible stories and going to church every Sunday, and it was like I knew how you're supposed to live how to live according to what the Bible asks of you. And also from a young age, my dad taught me and my brothers that there's more to Christianity than just following rules and trying to live a good life. And so he from a young age shared his testimony and his experience with us. I have 2 older brothers, and so basically he grew up in a pretty legalistic church, and when he was a teenager, he experienced God in a really personal way. So he told us as we were growing up that he believed that one day God would make himself, like Jesus would come into our lives and make himself real to us in a personal way, where it wasn't just trying to follow the Bible in our own strength, but that it would actually be living out of a relationship with Jesus. And so I feel like pretty blessed to have that message growing up, honestly, because it created in me like an expectation that this is going to happen someday. It was almost like prophesying it over our lives.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't view it that way. I don't know if I fully understood that, like the power of speaking things over people at that time, but Yeah. So, yeah,
What,
I
what
guess.
what did your like early like childhood look like? Like, what I guess how you talked a little bit about your dad's faith, but like, what was growing up like for you?
It was pretty good, honestly.
Pretty good,
Yeah, like
yeah.
pretty. I think it was like a pretty healthy family environment.
Yeah,
Like no family is perfect. Like I think there are seasons in my life where my dad was like pretty busy with work, and that kind of caused a little bit of tension, but um, not like no like crazy family drama or anything like that.
yeah. And you had three siblings, right?
Two older brothers.
Two older brothers, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like I always, as the youngest, wanted to be around them and like hang out with them and their friends and stuff. I was like, yeah, they're like kind of annoying younger brother. But yeah, I think from a young age, like even when I was a child, I remember having like all these questions about God and about the world around me, and like just having like a wonder for the world, for God's creation, like animals, like all fascinated me for my whole life. And just like when I was a child, I wanted to be a farmer just so I could like hang out with cows and pigs all day and just
Nice.
like hang out with animals, man. And I remember like my brother would like catch me walking home from school just like staring up in the clouds.
In the clouds.
Just, like, so yeah, I've always kind of been like in a bit of my own world, like just
Gotcha.
a bit of a dreamer, I guess. And just like amazed with the world around me. So I think, to me, I believe that it's been easy for me to believe that there is a creator of the universe, and that I'm not just here by chance.
Yeah.
I think that's been something that's been in me since I was like very young. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so I think that's where.
Just even almost inherently ingrained. Would you say it was inherently ingrained in you, not even from your parents, but you just based on your own character traits?
I would say I don't know, but I suspect so.
Yeah.
I suspect just based on like my personality and yeah, my identity as a human. like I think some people just have more of a natural, I don't know, awe of the world, I guess.
I'd agree.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And like think deeply about existential questions from a young age.
Gotcha.
Like I think there's like some kids that are just like very much like, oh, like there's the kids that are trying to figure out how machines work from a young age, and like are like all about like, oh, like how does this tractor functioning,
Yes.
taking things apart, putting them together. Like
Yeah.
that was never me. I was always like, why is the roof of my mouth shaped the way it is? What's the purpose?
Crazy.
Or like I was like asking like, who made God from like a very young age? I was like, where did God come from? Kind of thing,
Yeah.
like just like questions that I don't think many kids are wondering about. But yeah.
Are you able to remember like the first, like, is there anything that like notably sticks out like that you would contemplate when you were younger?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I can think of like specific questions that I had as a kid off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
I know that just from talking with my parents that there's a lot of
You're curious.
yeah. And just like a lot of fascination with how the world came to be, like why are the mountains, like where do the mountains come from, like where, like
Yeah.
I don't know, just stuff like that.
So that was your childhood. Like, what
Yeah.
was your teenage years like for you?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, one thing I wanted to touch on was I believe that God created me with a sense of wonder for the world around me, and I think even from a young age, that was already starting to get twisted and distorted
Oh,
from
okay.
a wonder for the world around me
Yeah.
to a fear of the world around me.
Ooh,
And like,
okay.
because I remember even from a pretty early age as a child, starting to ask like, what if someone breaks into our house at night and like I get kidnapped or like they like steal stuff or like just like fearful like imagination. It was like I think I had a very vivid imagination. Like I could just like be in my room playing with action figures for hours on end and just like have the imagination for that. But then I also think that the enemy sees what God has put in us and like tries to so that into a direction that brings us further away from God instead of drawing us towards God.
Gotcha.
And I think that's where the fear of like, what if something bad happens started to creep into my mind. Yeah. So anyways, I'll just throw that out there. But yeah, like growing up, getting into like the end of elementary and started junior high, I just, my friends, like my close friends had very different upbringings and didn't have like the Christian morals that my parents like raised me with. And so I think just being around having like I think your friends kind of form you in a lot of ways.
Yep. Yeah.
And when you're that young, you just want to be accepted and embraced by your peers and your friends. And so yeah, I like basically got exposed to like alcohol and weed, like smoking weed and pornography from like grade 6, 7.
Yep.
And yeah.
What
some of those-
was your initial experience going through that? Like, 'cause I know that's different for each person. Was it sort of shameful? Was it exciting? What was the initial, initial experience like when you got exposed to those things?
Okay, so alcohol, like getting drunk, was just like super fun. So I was like excited, like man, it was like a new experience. So I think that was exciting. Same with smoking weed, like I like heard more about it in a negative light growing up. So it was more. I knew that I was doing something that I was warned not to do. So there's a little more of
that risk aspect was almost fun, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and your parents didn't know that this was going on at the time?
No. Yeah. So I'd like sleep over at my friend's house and then we'd like do everything in his basement, sneak out and stuff. And yeah, I think there's definitely shame with like pornography.
Yep.
Yeah. That was probably out of the three, I think pornography had the deepest effect on me, effect on my life.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was the shame like instant, or was it, or was that built up over time?
I think it was instant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember like the thoughts when you first witnessed that? Did you know what was going through your mind at that point?
It was like a lot. I think like most sin, it's like at the same time shame and like extremely enticing and like
excitement. Almost.
Yeah. And like it wasn't like immediately like hard, like it wasn't immediate. It was like softcore porn into like more straight up porn, I guess, over the years. But
Yeah. So it started. You said grade 6. Where did that? Where did it take you? I guess from there. Like, how did it change your everyday life?
I don't know if I can remember how it affected me at the time. I know how it affected me down the line. Yeah.
Where was your walk with Christ in that season?
My relationship with God at that stage was believing that He was real, and that was about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know that I really communicated with God at that stage in my life, like as a young teen, but I had enough knowledge of the Bible to know that what I was doing was not in line with what God intended for me, wanted for me. And I think I already had a conscience telling me that what I was doing was wrong. Yeah, and like my dad, I remember at a pretty young age telling me about like the risk of like sexual sin and like the effect that it can have on you. I went to like church classes that like warn you about sexual sin, and they're like,
Yep.
if you dip your toes in pornography, you're gonna end up like Ted Bundy one day. I was like, oh crap. So there was like fear in that.
Fear in that, yeah.
Dude, and then
Yeah.
that same class, it was like we watched the Left Behind movie. And it was like from a young age being like, man, if Jesus comes back, am I gonna be like left behind and like have to like
Gotcha.
all the like good people are gone? I'm just gonna be suffering on earth.
So,
Yeah.
you basically were going through the adolescent, like like understanding your sexuality, and like also like finding out about porn while also being told that it's shameful, wrong, and experiencing a tremendous amount of fear and guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight up. Yeah. And then being involved, I don't know, being drinking and like smoking weed, and like I feel like that like made me someone that my peers viewed as cool at that stage in my life.
Gotcha.
But that like drastically shifted. Okay, this is kind of crazy. Just sharing some trauma here. Yeah, okay, basically grade 7, I like had probably one of the most life-shaping events in my life. I think I don't know why. I don't fully understand why, but I had like a very ingrained like sense that I needed to like follow the rules and like submit to authority and stuff. And yeah, basically grade 7, there's like a school rule where you couldn't use the bathroom without having a hall pass.
Gotcha.
Without having a journal. Specific, like you're in charge of your journal, and you need
okay.
that to go to the bathroom, to like go to the halls, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't have it, and dude, I pissed myself in grade 7, in the middle of a class.
Dang.
And yeah, basically, yeah, it was a traumatic experience, bro. It like still, I'm like just healing from it, this year, which is kind of crazy, dude. I stuffed it down for a long time, but that basically resulted in me like losing all my friends in junior high, and then like having like this like shadow hanging over me.
Yep.
Where I knew that anyone who found out about this would view me in that light.
Gotcha.
And, yeah. So basically, that was pretty life changing for me at that stage in my life.
Yeah.
And
Isn't it crazy how much like pure acceptance at that point in our lives plays such a big role? Like losing,
yeah,
and like isn't even so much like when you say it. Like I've heard people about like pooping themselves, like as fully grown adults, right? And it's like you can sit down and like almost like if one of my buddies pooped himself or something, we'd make
Dude, as
fun
an
of him,
adult, you can laugh
and you
about
can
it.
laugh about
Yeah,
it, right? But
yeah.
like something when you're that young and like losing your friends and being made fun of over small things like that makes it means like the world to you when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how like, you know, something we see as normal as adults, like you in grade 7, you're only what, 12 years old?
Yeah.
It's like, is that strange at that age? No. Like, I mean, like other kids might like make fun of you, but really it's like we're human beings, things happen, right? And you know, to go through that and realize how much of a profound impact that has when we're kids going through those moments, and like we don't obviously recognize that until we're adults. We bring that trauma can bring it with us for like huge chunks of our lives.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Dude, it's like the stupidest thing about it, but it literally scarred me for most of my life, for like a good chunk of my life. I think it really did. Like prior to this, I shared that with this year with a counselor.
Yeah.
And prior to that, with one other friend in my life. Like,
wow.
and like I just for the first time this year, I've been able to be like, I forgive like teenage Jordan for like letting that happen, you know. Like I held that against myself.
Yourself. Wow.
For most of my like since it happened until this year.
Wow.
Which is kind of yeah, dude. Because it really messed me up.
Yeah.
Into high school, through junior high, into high school, people were still bringing it up against me.
Wow.
You know? And like, yeah. So that's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Do you think like it was the actual action itself, or do you think it was the response from people that actually created the trauma?
I think it was both.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I definitely put a lot of shame on myself, and then I also felt a lot of shame from my peers and my friends. Yeah.
If on a chance, this is a hypothetical, but say your friends who disowned you didn't do that, and maybe they teased you a bit, but afterwards they're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. We all do stuff like that, and they reacted to it. I know it's hypothetical because most kids don't, but they reacted to it in a mature way. Do you think it would have had the same impact it had on you?
No. Yeah.
No.
I think I would have healed a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I think I would have healed. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good point, dude.
Yeah. So it's not all on you then. That's basically.
I mean, yeah.
what that says.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I know that. Yeah. I know that. At the end of the day, I don't know that I fully understand what was going through my mind, but I know that I just like cared about not breaking the rules, I guess. I don't know. That's the thing that's hard for me, is like just like understanding how I could let that happen, but yeah, like learning to just like forgive myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
kind of silly. Kind of like rationally it's silly.
Yeah.
But it did really deeply affect
you. Yeah. And that's a personal. It's part of your personal story. It's like different things affect people differently, right? And we all have different pieces of what you want to call it, trauma or events that have happened to us that impact us all on different levels, right? Mm-hmm. And I think, I think the most interesting thing, maybe we could dive into this a little bit more, is when those traumatic things happen to us, it's like the concept of shame and guilt and fear, like we were talking about earlier, how those things play a role and they usually start to define us, and it's we take those on as personality traits instead of recognizing that those are just feelings that are fleeting. Mm-hmm. We see them as part of ourselves. So I'm curious on how it went after you for that moment. Like where did that moment lead you?
Okay, the one really cool thing that came from it was I remember, like, I think it was on like a Friday.
Yeah.
And then I remember that weekend being in the back of my parents' car, they're driving somewhere, and just knowing, like, I was like, okay, it's over for me, like, my social life is done, like,
yeah,
all the people I care or know about is gone.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, but I remember, like, in that moment being like, the one thing I still have is God, like, I knew, dude, I don't know, like, somehow at that young age, I was like, he's never gonna leave me, which was a crazy revelation to have.
It's crazy.
At 12, yeah. And, like, I don't know that I fully understood what that meant, but I just knew that, like, he was always there. Yeah. So that was,
Wow.
That is something that.
So there was some peace in the midst of chaos. There was peace.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's where it's like, it's not like a clear cut, like, for me, I don't think I fully had a full revelation of what relationship with Jesus meant.
Yeah.
But I still had some kind of relationship with him to know that he was with me after losing what felt like everything at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christ was there in the lowest moment where it felt like there was no one else around.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Did that experience or that understanding that Christ was there, did that last, or what was that like? Where'd that go from there?
I think it lasted. I think I held on to that. Yeah. I always knew, like, from there, I knew that he was with me. I didn't fully know what that meant. But then grade 11, my brother Dave, he had, like, not been following God. He was, like, he went to, like, London for a year and was just, like, doing his own thing, finding his way in life, and, like, I just I could see where his life was at, and he had, like, a pretty dramatic conversion, or like a dramatic coming to faith in Jesus.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing what happened to him. It'd be like, whoa, like, this is exactly what my dad said was gonna happen. Like,
wow.
Yeah,
cool.
And that was when, like, the light bulb went off for me. I was like, if it happened to him, it's gonna happen for me now. You know,
Neat.
I, like, believed that I'd experience the same kind of personal experience with Jesus. And
wow.
So then Dave got plugged into Church on 99, which is, like, now a Celebration Church where we're attending.
Yep.
And I remember that year, I think it was that same year, he, like, invited me and my family to go to an Easter service with him at his church.
Okay.
And that was, I remember, like, that speaking to me. It was all about, like, that God has a purpose for our lives, and, like, the way to know your purpose in life is to know him. And like, I was just like, man, that's what I need. Like, I have no clue where my life is headed. And I remember, like, there was an altar call, and, like, I just felt like, oh man, I should respond to this, but I didn't respond. And I was, like, kicking myself, like, oh man, like, what the heck, I should respond. And then I went to church service with my parents the next weekend, and it was this, like, missionary dude who was, like, very different. He's like, Jesus is coming back. like you're either with them or you're against them. You got to decide today.
Oh, man.
And then I remember being like, having like all this like flashbacks to like Left Behind. And
Oh,
like,
man.
be like, man, like I gotta commit today, otherwise I'm like
That's it.
in trouble. Yeah. So then again, there's like that aspect of fear to it, right? Where it's like I like committed my life to Jesus, but it was also like with a bit of a fear attached to it. Like if you don't, then you're like in judgment. You're like gonna be judged, you know? And like, anyways. And I feel like, dude, that's kind of been a theme through a good chunk of my walk with God, is like this like lurking like fear of judgment.
Fear of judgment, yeah.
And but I did take that commitment seriously, and like I knew that I couldn't keep on like just getting like drunk with my friends and stuff, and so my lifestyle started to change. I started going to like church youth group and stuff, and I again like lost all of my close friends because my lifestyle changing, and so it's like a repeat of junior high for a different reason, you know.
Gotcha.
But so I feel like I think that probably has like, I think my junior high and high school did like really affect my ability to have confidence in myself, and like I think I'm still healing from some of the rejection from junior high and high school, to be honest.
What happened in the second time that you're, why, what was it that led to that separation between your social circle and in that moment?
I think just like in grade 11, like, I don't know, the means of like socializing is just like going out and drinking and with your friends, you know?
Yep.
And I just like couldn't do that in good conscience anymore. I couldn't like.
Was it the fear that was now then impacting that, the fear of like judgment after hearing that pastor, or was it a healthy conviction of, on your conscience, or was it like almost based in what we talked about in fear, where you felt like you had to change this, otherwise there would be punishment? Or
that's a good question. I think I really wanted to live a life that was pleasing to God. I do think I did, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say if there was fear attached to it.
Gotcha.
Very well could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard for me to like remember specifically that season, like what all that motivated me. Yeah.
But it was a brand new. So you entered into this brand new season, basically, where now you have, whether it was a healthy fear or unhealthy fear, you had a fear of life after death, almost.
Yeah.
And this caused you to change your social circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just wanted like, truly did want to know Jesus, like, and have the experience, like the life-changing experience that my dad had and my brother had, you know? And like, I was expecting when I responded to that like altar call that I was gonna have this like epiphany, you know, this like dramatic like power up or something.
Gotcha.
Where like your old thoughts and like
just melt away, and then you're just a whole new person.
I thought in my imagination. That's how it goes.
Gotcha.
And I remember like responding and then being like, I feel the exact same as I did like an hour ago. And being like, did anything happen?
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
And, but I did, yeah. So anyways, felt the same.
Yeah.
Wanted to please God, but wanted to know Jesus. But was like doubting whether it was real and stuff. And,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I like started going to a youth group at church and like getting engaged in, I guess, church life again.
Yeah.
And yeah, started like having like youth leaders that were like pouring into me and like yeah. So I think like there's lots of good from that season of my life in like
Gotcha.
in youth group at church and people that like mentors that really did, I could tell, really did care about me.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah. And then so I got baptized at like 16 or something like that.
Okay.
And then my parents brought me on. My parents like supported these missionaries in North Africa, and they brought me on this trip with them.
Yeah.
And basically we went and like handed out Bibles
Oh,
at
neat.
an intersection like between Morocco and like a little Spanish port city. And
Cool.
yeah. That was a pretty powerful trip for me because I was like serving this ministry with like people from like Egypt who'd had like friends murdered for becoming Christians and stuff. And I remember
Wow.
like I was like, whoa, like this is no joke for these people. Like this is real life or death. Like they're willing to put their life on the line for the gospel. So
Yeah.
that's where I was like, man, people don't do that for something that they don't truly believe in, you know?
Yep.
And the other amazing thing about that trip is me and my dad went, so we like served at this intersection where we like hand out Bibles.
Yeah.
When people stop at a red light, we just like run up to their car and give them Bibles. And it's like right beside the beach. So we went to go swimming after one day.
Yeah.
And I had my glasses with me, so I like left my clothes and my glasses on the beach, and went swimming. Got back, put my clothes back on.
Yeah.
Left, went back to the hotel, and I realized I left my glasses. Lost my glasses. So we went back, searched for them, couldn't find them anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, like, how am I gonna like spend the next 2 weeks of this trip completely blind? Like not completely blind, but like
Yeah.
not able to see. Like I'm going into traffic. And I remember praying like, God, like help me to like get my glasses back. And dude, that evening my mom was like serving on a different shift.
Yeah.
And a Spanish boy came up to my mom with my glasses and was
wow.
like, do you know who these are? And she's
Wow.
like, those are my sunglasses. And dude,
That's crazy.
I remember getting my glasses back,
Yeah.
and that was the first time in my life where I encountered the love of God for me. I was like, man, he actually loves me, and it's not just like, okay, I don't want to go to hell. It was like, no, like there's a real God that actually like cares about the little things, you know,
Yeah.
and sees the little things and hears my prayers.
Cool.
And that was a crazy experience in my life, where the first time, like, knowing that I have a father that loves me.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, that's yeah, I held on to that for like a really, yeah, that stuck with me and really transformed me. But I remember it was like that happened, and then I remember like a few days later, like fall into like sexual sin in like a hotel bathroom and being like
Gotcha.
ashamed and like you know, it's like,
Yeah.
it was still like, it was like God was showing his love, but then the enemy came in to like
Steal
fix
it.
my attention back on the shame and where I'm falling short. And like,
Yeah.
I think that's like, that happens for a lot of people. And
Yeah.
I feel like that over the course of my life, so many times, like you have a breakthrough and you have like a moment where like where God does something amazing in your life, and then the enemy tries to come in and steal it and stomp
Yes.
that out and like get you focused on yourself again.
Absolutely.
You know? And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I got back from that trip, and my brother gave me this book called God Smuggler.
Oh, okay.
And it's this dude, this Dutch dude who at the end of this, or in the Second World War, he his like little town got like invaded by Germany,
Yeah.
and then he became basically this like dude who smuggles Bibles into closed countries.
Oh, okay.
And
Neat.
the whole book is just like about like miraculous experiences where like he'd get searched and his car is like full of Bibles, and then he just would the like people searching his vehicle wouldn't see anything.
Yeah.
Or like he was driving this Volkswagen Beetle around for miles, and then he like stopped at this mechanic's house, and he's like, the mechanic was like, there's no way that this car should be running. Like there's no mechanical way that it can be running. So just like I remember reading that book and be like, man, this guy's story is epic. Like just the adventure that he lived, and like I was like, this is what I want for my life. I want to go on like adventures with God, and like and that kind of like sparked like me wanting to like be like a missionary and like travel the world doing cool stuff, going on adventures with God. And
Yeah.
yeah, ultimately I ended up going to Bible college
Yeah.
because of that, into like a missions program to like learn about how to be a missionary. And like,
Yeah.
but in my mind I was like, I just gotta like learn all of the answers and the arguments that are gonna like convince people that Jesus is real and true, you know?
Gotcha.
And it was all about like an intellectual sparring or something, you know? So I think
Almost like, well, you are inherently I think like it's like some of our conversations we've had, if I've learned that you're a debater.
Yeah.
You like to debate sometimes.
Yeah.
So no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's also cool, like me and Jordan, when we first started like talking and hanging out, like we found out we went to the same Bible college, which is super crazy. And not just the same Bible college, the same like missions program.
Yeah.
And so we were just swapping stories about how we were like some of the same places. Like we both went to this leprosy colony in southern China. And it's like this middle of nowhere. You have to take like a bus down a dirt road to get there. And it's like, it's just bizarre when you realize how small the world is. Like you can run into people who have had the similar experience to you and get to share that. So that was pretty neat.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That was actually a crazy revelation.
Yeah.
We went to the same tiny little village in China.
In the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
That maybe like, I think that's the only people that ever go there is people do this program.
No one else visits them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah. Anyways, so I went to this Bible college, and it's like a Pentecostal Bible college, and so it's very much about like encountering the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And like experiences with God and stuff like that. And this was all like brand new to me, so I was like, whoa, this is amazing. Like just like all these people around me were having these crazy encounters and experiences with God.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I remember like they were big on, I think as most Pentecostal churches are, like the baptism of the Holy Spirit and like speaking in tongues and stuff like that. And that was all pretty new to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, that sounds awesome. Like I want that. And I remember just being like hungry for that, and not having not having like an encounter that like having an encounter that other people around me were.